Hey, 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 beautiful butterflies. Welcome back to LOL with Racquel, Lupus Out Loud. Today, we are going into something that I know a whole lot of us feel, but maybe haven't had the words for it yet. We're talking about the pressure to perform, the pressure to make your lupus look manageable, neat, inspirational, like something people can feel good about watching from the outside. And I want to start by asking you something real. How many of you have been in the middle of a really hard day? Pain, fatigue, brain fog, the whole thing. And someone reaches out and says, "How are you doing?" And instead of you being honest, you say, "I'm doing okay. I'm fine. I'm raising my hand." Yep, me too. So today we're going to talk about why we do that and what it costs us and how to stop. So let's get into it. The thing about having lupus that nobody really prepares you for is the moment you share your diagnosis, people start watching you. And not always in a bad way. Sometimes it does come from love. But the watching creates this invisible pressure to be a certain kind of sick person, right? The strong one, the grateful one, the still showing up one. And over time, a lot of us start performing in that role. We post the good days. We smile through the appointments. We laugh off the pain in public so that other people don't feel uncomfortable. We downplay the really bad flares so we don't seem like we're complaining. We become the version of ourselves that lupus looks good on. And listen, trust me, I get it. I really do. Some of us perform because we're afraid people won't believe how sick we are if we're not sick enough, right? Some of us perform because we've already lost people who couldn't handle the truth of this disease. Some of us perform because somewhere along the line, we decided that our pain was too much for the people we love. You know what? That performance is exhausting and it's hurting you. Can we be honest about what happens inside when you're always putting on a show? First, it makes you feel alone, even when you're surrounded by people, because they're not seeing the real you. They're seeing the version you carefully put together before you walked in that room. And no matter how many likes or comments or "you're so strong" messages you get, it doesn't fill that empty place because it's not actually you they're responding to. Second, it creates shame around the hard stuff. When you train yourself to only show the highlight reel, the hard days feel like failures, like something is wrong with you for not handling it better. The bad flare becomes something to hide. The tears become embarrassing, and the anger becomes something you swallow. Third, and this is big, it delays healing. Not just emotional healing, but physical. When we're spending energy managing other people's feelings about our illness, we have less energy for actually taking care of ourselves. That's not a small thing when you're living with lupus, because your energy is precious. Every bit of it matters. And fourth, the performance is lonely work. You're carrying two things at once: the illness and the story you're telling about the illness. That's double weight. So if performing is so draining, why do we keep doing it? Because honestly, being real feels risky. We worry that if people see how bad it really gets, they'll feel sorry for us. And most of us hate that pity because it makes us feel smaller than what we actually are. We worry that if we stop being the strong one, people won't know how to love us anymore. We worry that if we talk about fear or grief or the days we just don't want to deal with any of this, people will think we've given up. And some of us have been burned before. I know I have. We opened up, and the person we opened up to said the wrong thing, or they disappeared, or made it about themselves. So we learned to keep the real stuff locked away. I feel you. I felt the same way. I hear all of that, and those fears make complete sense. But let me tell you what I found. I found that if I had a different way of thinking about my vulnerability, that it would make people see me in a different light. And letting people see your real experience, it isn't weakness. It's not giving up. It's not asking for pity. It's just plain old truth. And sometimes people have to have that truth. And the truth, even when it's hard, gives people the chance to actually show up for you. The performance that you're having of a lifetime saying you're fine takes that chance away from them and from you. Now, I want to be clear about something though. Being authentic with your lupus journey does not mean you have to share everything with everyone because everyone does not deserve that information. It doesn't mean you have to post every hard moment online. Matter of fact, you don't have to post any hard moments online. It doesn't mean every conversation has to turn into a deep dive about how sick you are either. Authenticity just means you stop pretending. It means that when someone who actually cares about you asks you how you're doing, you can tell them something real. Now, maybe not everything, but something true and truthful. It means you allow yourself to say, look, today was really hard, without immediately following it up with, but I'm fine. It means you let yourself cry when you need to cry, be angry when you're angry, grieve what this disease has taken from you, because there is a real grief in this and it deserves space. It means you stop apologizing for the hard days and stop performing your way through the bad ones just to protect everyone else's comfort. Your life, your real life, is worth more than a highlight reel. So, I want to give you some practical tips on how to start being more authentic on your journey, not for anyone else, but for you to help you live better with lupus. Tip number one, start small and start safe. You don't have to go from keeping everything in to sharing everything all at once. Pick one person you trust. You hear that? Trust. Just one. And practice being more honest with them. And when they ask you how you're doing, you can say something like, actually, things have been harder than I let on. And leave it at that. That's it. Start right there. Tip number two, notice when you're performing. Start paying attention to when you default to I'm fine or the inspiring story. Not to beat yourself up about it, but just to notice. Awareness is where change starts. Ask yourself, am I saying this because it's true or am I saying it because it's easier? Tip number three, give yourself permission to have bad days out loud. You are allowed to say this is a bad day. You don't have to explain it either. You don't have to follow it with a lesson or silver lining. You are allowed to just be in it, be in that bad day. The hard days are part of your story too. Tip number four, let people be there for you. Did you hear what I said? Let people be there for you. A lot of us who perform are also people who struggle to receive help or care. Practice letting someone bring you a meal when you're flaring. Practice saying yes when someone offers. Letting people in is not the same as being a burden. Did you hear that part? Because I had to think about that as I said it to say it again. Letting people in is not the same as being a burden. Tip number five, create space in your own mind for the real feelings. Even if you're not ready to share with others, you can be honest with yourself. Journal it, talk to a therapist, say it out loud in the car. Get the real feelings out somewhere, somehow, so they're not just building up inside of you, creating stress. And tip number 6, my final tip. Remember that your story, the whole story, helps other people. When you're only showing the strong parts, you're accidentally making other people feel like they should be that strong too. When you show the real parts, the fear, the grief, the hard days, you give someone else permission to feel what they feel. And that's a gift. And I want to wrap up today with this. Lupus is already a lot. You don't have to make it look good. You don't have to be inspiring every day. You don't have to have it all together for anyone, not even yourself. The most important thing you can do for yourself is be real about what this is, real about what's going on with you, with your family, with your friends, with your doctor. Not to give up, but to stop carrying the weight of a performance on top of everything else this disease already asks of you. You are not a brand. You are not a spokesperson. You are a person, a human being, living a really hard, really real life. And that's enough. You are enough. On the bad days, on the messy days, on the days you can barely get out of bed, you are enough. You don't owe anyone a performance. So that's LOL with Raquel, Lupus Out Loud. You know, we talk about the real stuff here, and we want to make sure that you're able to cope a little bit better with lupus with what we're talking about. So I'm Raquel, and I love you for being here. Take care of yourself this week. The real you.